The NASCAR Pinty Series speeds into the fastest 1/3 mile oval in Canada. The country's top stock car drivers are set to hit the high banks in Nova Scotia. We're at Riverside International Speedway as TSN presents the Bumper to Bumper 300, the 10th race on the 2017 calendar.
John Chisholm had a dream of creating one of the best short track facilities in the nation, and that dream became a reality here on the outskirts of Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Welcome to Riverside Speedway. I'm Dave Bradley. Along with me is Adam Ross. Todd Lewis is patrolling the pits for us trackside. Adam, it's the 11th stop for the NASCAR Pinty Series here at Riverside, and this is one fast, racy speed plan.
Dave, this is a high bank, 2-groove 3rd mile oval that always produces excitement. This is the longest race these fans down in the Maritimes are going to see all season long, and they love their stock car racing.
One driver has been on a roll, the 32 of Alex Labbe. A strong run at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières has him on top of the NASCAR Pinty Series point standings by 23 points over the 74 of Kevin Lacroix, but Lacroix has shown some speed here.
Defending champion Kevin Lacroix sits 3rd, LP Dumoulin 4th, and DJ Kennington rounds out the top 5. It's still a battle for the title.
And speaking of DJ Kennington, qualifying washed out here today, so the starting lineup will be set on speeds in practice. That puts a 17 on pole. Let's get things underway. Let's send it trackside for the command in today's Bumper to Bumper 300.
Engines firing along the front stretch, led by pole sitter and 2-time winner DJ Kennington. A tradition for DJ: when he leaves home for a race, he leaves a note on the pillow for his kids, Sydney and Chase. Chase, your note is on display in DJ's car today. A little extra motivation for the former 2-time winner here at Riverside.
Just a great story. Kevin Lacroix needs a great run here in Riverside to rebound in the points. We'll ride on board with the 28 of Armani Williams. Taking a look at the clean flow starting grid here today as the field rolls off behind the Dodge Ram Rebel pace truck. You have Kennington and Lacroix. That is your front row.
Starting in 3rd will be Alex Labbe, our points leader. On the outside of row 2, it's Donald Chisholm in the 89. 3rd row has Kevin Lacroix in the 76 and Donald Teague in the 22.
Taking a look back to row number 4, you have the Ford, the 02 of Mark Dilly, and a Dodge driven by LP Dumoulin, the 47. Adam Martin's in the 9, and Alex Tagliani in the 18, starting back in 10th.
Back in row number 6, former winner of this event, Andrew Ranger in the 27, and the 04 of JF Dumoulin. And in row 7, Armani Williams in the 28 and Simone Dion-Vienne in the 25. Rounding out the field, Joey McComb takes over the 8 ride after Larry Jackson practiced in the car.
Solid field of NASCAR Pinty Series race cars here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Let's take a look at today's E3 Spark Plugs race analysis. The most important part of this, it is a brake race here today.
In 300 laps, this is a tough physical grind for these drivers.
It's a warm one, 24 degrees in the sunshine. The track's going to get greasy. Let's head down to check in with Todd one more time.
Guys, I'm anxious to see which drivers move forward and some that might move back in the early going. Conditions today are completely different than yesterday's practice when it was cloudy and cool and damp. Today's sunshine could be a very slippery track. There will be teams making adjustments throughout the race and maybe some big ones at the break. The winner could be the one that keeps up with the changing car and track conditions.
See the Dodge Ram Rebel pace truck looking for pit lane as we head for the green flag here in the Bumper to Bumper 300. In Antigonish, Nova Scotia, we're underway.
As we expected, Dave, I shouldn't say that, but DJ Kennington takes the lead. He is so hungry to get a win. He wants to lead some laps. He's been getting better, but remember, this driver hasn't won since 2013.
And he has won twice here at Riverside Speedway, so to say an oval track would fit his style, that's this one. As you see a car down pit lane, it looks like Joey McComb in the 8.
Yeah, Joey McComb jumped into this race car just to get starting money and points for the team. Larry Jackson, a Mississauga firefighter, he planned on racing Saturday night and then racing home to Mississauga so he could show up for work. He could not be here today, so Joey McComb climbed behind the wheel.
On board the Johnsonville number 9 of Adam Martin. You see the 47 of LP Dumoulin wiggling a little bit as the 27 of Andrew Ranger up in that high group. That's where he loves to be in the Mopar Dodge.
Ranger loves it up on the outside, and it is so very fast out here. Whoa, close quarters racing Donald Teach in the 22. He's in the 5th spot, but Caden Lasevich looking to take over that position. And how about Mark Dilley in the 02? He's been showing some great speed.
He's another driver who is very, very good on this track. As a matter of fact, he's completed more laps here at Riverside than any other driver in the field.
You're absolutely right. Another interesting fact about Riverside, DJ Kennington has won here twice. He is the only driver to have multiple wins at this racetrack.
Still that side-by-side battle for 9th spot with LP Dumoulin, the WeatherTech Dodge, and the Mopar Dodge, the 27 of Andrew Ranger upstairs, but he's working in that high groove in the early going.
Kevin Lacroix is really able to stick that 74 machine right on the bottom, coming off the corner right here.
We can talk till our tongues are numb about how racy this place is, but you can see from that onboard shot just how good it is, either high or low. As you see a good battle there, Caden Lasevich, the 76, takes over 5th spot.
What we find from drivers is it takes a lot of patience. You can hook the bottom of the racetrack like they are, but you've got to be patient rolling into the throttle or you lose the back end and lose all your forward bite. So what we just saw from Caden and Mark Dilley was a lot of patience. Get underneath the 22 at Teach and then take your time getting onto the throttle to get that run up off the corner.
DJ Kennington in the Castrol Edge Dodge started in the top spot, and that's where he remains through the early going of 300 laps. The Bumper to Bumper 300 from Riverside International Speedway is brought to you by Mopar. We built it. We know it. And by Pinty's, making great food fun. A great look from high atop this 1/3 of a mile speedway just outside Antigonish, Nova Scotia, not too far from Halifax. The only stop from the NASCAR Pinty series in the Maritimes, and we got a battle for the lead. Here comes Lacroix to the inside.
Kennington wiggled up on the high side. Kevin Lacroix gets by. That car is on a rail, but look who's there. Alex Labbe in the 32.
Alex Labbe has been making the march forward in that Can-Am Ford Fusion. But you saw DJ Kennington. He pops to the outside, lets Lacroix go, ducks back down to the inside. A veteran move.
And now that Lacroix went by, now DJ is able to pin it to the inside. Even a veteran driver like DJ can pick something up when someone else goes by and takes the lead. The smallest of adjustments in his driving style can really improve the car.
Good battle there for 5th spot between the 89 of Donald Chisholm and the 02 of Mark Dilley. Chisholm with that home track advantage in the Celtic Ford.
And both of these drivers have won here. Both of these drivers with a lot of experience behind the wheel, feeling things out for the time being. We saw it just a while ago. Donald Chisholm actually move out of the way for Caden Lasevich, not doing the same for Mark Dilley.
Spotter for the 17 of DJ Kennington, giving him directions, letting him know the 32 of Alex Labbe was up and taking a look on the outside.
And a longtime spotter for Jason Hathaway, arguably the most successful oval track racer we had in this series the last 3 or 4 years.
And Gutler's been making the trip to the U.S. on a number of occasions, helping some teams in the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series, spotting there as well. On board the WeatherTech Dodge of LP Dumoulin. Tucked in behind the EpiPen Lowe's number 18 of Alex Tagliani. Now we've got a little rubbing.
A little bit of a kiss between Dilley in the 02 and Donald Chisholm in the 89, as that's the battle still for the 5th spot.
Pair of Fords, nose to tail. Donald Chisholm will tuck back in and almost gets into the back bumper of the Leland 02. But how about Caden Lasevich now putting on a charge in the 76?
Lasevich, I thought he would qualify closer to the front, even if they line him up by practice times, but Lasevich just didn't get the practice times in that some of the others did, but this car looks to be working well.
Lapsevich had to be one of the favorites coming into this race. Of course, the 2016 winners. You heard Billy Knowles on the scanner for the 76, a longtime member of the Fastline Motorsports crew. Call him the gunslinger, and he's been helping Kevin Lacroix here today.
LP Dumoulin makes a pass on the 18 of Alex Tagliani for the 8th spot in that WeatherTech 47.
Tagliani, of course, coming off the win at our last event on the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, so a very tight street circuit to a very fast oval here at Riverside.
Kevin Lacroix with a good run on DJ Kennington in the 17. Oh my goodness, right in front of the race leader, Armani Williams in the 28 with problems.
On the front straightaway, now into turn number 1, you see the 28 showing a little smoke. Have another look at what happened.
They were just coming through turn 4. Armani Williams running the bottom group. Wow, right up the racetrack. Kevin Lacroix did a nice job to keep that car off the wall.
Under caution, and the 28 of Armani Williams has already found his pit stall. They'll take a look at the right front, but there's several other drivers taking advantage of this caution.
Okay, give me 2 up on that track car, that farther ahead one, yeah?
A couple of takers on this first opportunity for adjustments. JF Dumoulin along, right rear adjustment, and the same on the 27 Mopar Dodge of Andrew Ranger.
DJ Kennington and Dave White is crew chief of the 27 on the Confederation, a ferry out of Caribou, Nova Scotia. Captain David Blue let the boys take command for a little bit for their run to Wood Island PEI. It's a little bit of fun outside of racing here in Nova Scotia.
Not every day you get to do that, that's for sure.
The field bunching up, looking for restart number 1 on lap 75 here in the bumper-to-bumper 300. Kevin Lacroix is bringing them very, very slowly to that restart box. Green flag back up, and we're back underway.
Dan Hawkins waves that green flag. He must have been waiting forever for Lacroix to get on the loud pedal.
But look at the jump the 74 was able to get on the rest of the field.
You know, he definitely does it for a reason, but that nice slow start gets him in a straight line. He leads the way. The top 6 or so, all single file. That was LP Dumoulin on the outside of Donald Teague in the 22. Contact!
And into the wall goes the 47. Now we're 3 wide down the back straightaway.
That was a hard lick into the wall, and you can see smoke off the right side of the 47.
LP Dumoulin still out and still up on the outside, but struggling to hang on to that one as his hands just fighting the steering wheel.
Wow, Kevin Lacroix into the corner, slides up the racetrack. There's got to be something on the racing surface, Dave.
DJ Kennington almost caught the wall, too, and now we have a problem. The 28 of Armani Williams goes around. Time for another caution, second time of the afternoon. And big issues for the 25 Castrol Ford of Simone Dion-Vienne.
So we're on board with LP Dumoulin to the outside of Donald Teague. Contact. When you hit the wall hard enough to buckle the hood like that, Dave, you've hit it pretty hard.
Indeed, you have. Simone Dion-Vienne in the pits to the attention of his crew, as is the WeatherTech Dodge 47 of LP Dumoulin, and this one looks bad.
Yeah, definitely not a good thing as Kevin Lacroix controls the field for the time being at Riverside Speedway in Antigonish, Nova Scotia.
We're setting up for the second restart of the afternoon here at Riverside Speedway, where Paul McLean and his team have done another fabulous job preparing this third of a mile oval for the bumper-to-bumper 300.
And Kevin Lacroix sets the pace again, a snail's pace. Dave, look at that white around the racetrack. That's the oil dry where they cleaned up the oil. I'm not sure how slick this track is going to be, but we're about to find out.
Lacroix once again gets the jump into turn number 1. You see the dust coming out from underneath these cars.
Well, Lapsevich spun the tires big time. Couldn't get any forward bite. Look at Mark Dilley. He'll take over the second spot.
And we should mention that the 47 of LP Dumoulin is back on track, currently in the 14th position in the WeatherTech Dodge. Boy, the car's sliding, especially up on the outside. Kevin Lacroix struggling to hang on in that high groove.
He spent all that time marching to the front, and now he's losing those positions as Alex Labbe on the inside, DJ Kennington on the inside, so 2 drivers that have been in the top 3 all day long.
There goes the 47 back down pit lane. You saw the WeatherTech Dodge duck in as we continue with this battle for second. But as these cars battle around, Dilly, Labbe, Lapsevich, the 74 of Kevin Lacroix continues to open up again.
We're seeing Mark Dilly drive as assertively as we've seen all season long, maybe in a couple of years. I like seeing this out of Mark. He knows he's got a fast race car, and he's not cutting these guys much slack.
Still see a big empty hood on the 76 of Caden Lapsevich. Surprisingly, they're still looking for funding at this point in the season. But Lapsevich trying his best to land that big name sponsor. But if you have a few bucks and you want to back a team in the NASCAR Pinty series, it's definitely one that runs at the front a lot.
You'd see a lot of your logo on the hood of that race car, but blank red with a white stripe up the middle, Dave.
Aboard the Leland Ford Fusion, Mark Dilly sitting in fourth spot.
You really can't tell what's going through a driver's mind, but don't you find Ellis Labbe always looks so relaxed when we go on board? Down in the pits, Todd Lewis has an update on the 47.
Yeah, guys, the 47 back in again. They thought they had found the problem with the leaky line in the rear end, but the problem seemed to be more severe. They're trying to make repairs to that 47 car and get him back out. Examining the gear area right now. If they can diagnose it, get him back out, and at least accumulate a few championship points.
Billy Burns, the crew chief on that car, will want to get Dumoulin back out on track. He came into this one fourth in points.
And really within striking distance. You don't want to be much further back than he is. This is definitely not the run they hope for.
Battle for fifth on the racetrack as we rode quickly on board the 89 of Donald Chisholm, and now looking backwards from the 17 of DJ Kennington. Look at how the front end slaps down here as they go into the corners.
It slaps down, and look at how Donald Chisholm charges these turns. Very fast going in. It's not paying off right now coming off the turn, but watch him gobble up the distance going in.
We can really lean on the banking here. 14 degrees in the corners. We have a battle for second now between Alex Labbe and Caden Lapsevich, and the straightaways are what will shock you. 6 degrees of banking on the straightaways.
Wheel door, quarter clear.
Billy Knowles again telling the driver exactly what he wants to hear. You're clear. And now Caden Lapsevich can bear down and try to close in on Kevin Lacroix.
And this is the battle for second, as we mentioned. That's because the bumper-to-bumper number 74 of Kevin Lacroix has opened up quite a gap, and we've got some rubbing deeper in the field. That's, again, that battle for fifth spot. And now you've got Donald Teach in there.
Well, the closing rate was pretty good that time. Donald Chisholm, give a little bumper loving to DJ Kennington. Did not accomplish what he wanted, though.
You want to try and lean on him just a little bit and move the car up the banking so you open up the inside groove. It's a classic bump and run, a typical NASCAR move.
But on that type of a bump, when you square up the back bumper, you've got to hit him fairly hard to move him up a full lane. The best kind of bump and run is right there. Get up under the left rear corner of the car, and all you have to do is barely touch it, and it'll skate up the racetrack a little ways, and away he goes.
Here comes Chisholm down to the inside as the 17 got loose on exit. They're side by side into turn number one. And I was going to say the 17 of Kennington seems to be holding up traffic a little.
Trouble on the racetrack. Armani Williams in the 28 has gone around again.
So caution out once again. The race for autism. Dodge of Armani Williams comes to a rest up against the outside wall.
He was in trouble from the start. You could... Oh, and a pretty good impact there at the end of that one as he backs up into the wall. But as soon as he started braking, the back end was coming around, and you just can't save that.
So we'll take a quick break and reset the field here on the bumper-to-bumper 300. Kevin Lacroix continues to lead. Welcome back to TSN, your home for NASCAR racing in Canada. This is the bumper-to-bumper 300 from Antigonish, Nova Scotia, as we get ready for restart number 3, already on lap 122. That's how quickly things click by.
The laps are flying by, and once again, Kevin Lacroix with this snail's pace restart that's worked beautifully so far.
Got to be frustrating for the other drivers. We'll see if Lapsevich is going to pick up on it, and he does. A good start for the 76 compared to the last time.
Really good restart for Lapsevich. Slides up the banking, now will tuck in line.
Side by side, though, for third. You've got Labbe on the inside, Dilly up on the outside. And it looks like that outside group really isn't too bad now. It seems to be coming in.
No, the oil and speedy dry didn't help. Wow! Donald Chisholm gets a bit of a wiggle. Kennington helps him wiggle a little bit more. And look who's going to win down into 3. Adam Martin with aggressive move, but he couldn't make it stick.
It's battle for 6th spot, and don't forget this is a break race, so there will be a caution period, and the teams will be allowed to work on it as Martin appears as though he caught the outside wall or may have come close.
I hope we get to watch that again from on board Andrew Ranger. That would have been a whale of a show.
Not so much if you're Andrew Ranger.
Oh, man, there was a lot going on down that back straightaway. I'm impressed. Adam Martin able to gather it back in. Not too much damage done because there was plenty of contact.
Johnsonville number 9, no tires down as Martin able to continue its speed. The Mopar Dodge at 27 of Andrew Ranger still up in that high group, but that doesn't indicate anything bad. That is where Andrew Ranger typically likes to run.
How about JF Dumoulin in the Spectra Premium car? He's looking good. So is Donald Chisholm working to the bottom.
Heard a quick word from Scott Lethbridge, the spotter, the 0-2 on Mark Dilly's car, indicating Donald Chisholm giving some company, and Chisholm got loose on the inside.
Very loose. That was a nice save. Was able to keep up his momentum.
Battle for 4th spot, and now Dilly will back away because there is a hole behind that Celtic Ford, the number 89 of Donald Chisholm.
A couple of Fords do battle, and we got a couple of Dodgers racing up at the front. Kevin Lacroix has controlled this race since he took the lead from DJ Kennington, but here comes Kevin Lacroix.
And tip of the hat to JF Dumoulin in the 0-4, the Spectra Premium Dodge, not necessarily known for his oval track prowess, but he's holding his own. If he can hang with Andrew Ranger and Donald Teach on this track, he's doing all right.
And you know what? It's just the learning curve. We watched LP Dumoulin go through the same thing on his way to becoming a champion. JF, he's picking up this game.
Young Adam Martin in the Johnsonville Ford Fusion inside of the 17 of DJ Kennington. That's a battle for 6th spot. Give it to the youngster.
And you know, this is when you want your race car to really be coming in at the end of that 150 laps, because we're about to have a halftime break. They're going to do the same thing, another 150 laps. It's nice to be fast off the start. It's better to be fast at the end.
Because then you know what to tweak when you're in that break, or at least what to tell your crew. A lock up there from the 74 under pressure as Lapsevich moves to the inside.
Kevin Lacroix with a good run to the bottom of the racetrack. Lacroix drives it deep.
Alex Labbe not too far behind. We ride on board with a 76 of Lapsevich. Oh, and there's a touch.
That was a healthy bump and run as well. Gave him a good wiggle. Lacroix had to go up the track, catch the race car.
Good move by Lacroix as he's able to maintain. You see Labbe tucked in behind the 76, trying to take advantage of that open hole.
And we talk about that move. You know what is as important as the bump in the bump and run, Dave? The run. The run is equally as important. Because once you make that bump, you got to get the heck out of there so they can't do it right back.
Speaking of bumping, you saw the 74 leaning on the 32 and vice versa. They were each nudging each other, trying to get position. Labbe was trying to steal away second, and Lacroix was trying to maintain his spot.
The intricacies of short track racing as we've got a battle for 4th. Mark Dilly in the Avenue Auto Parts 02 and the Celtic Ford number 89 of Donald Chisholm.
How about Adam Martin as we ride on board the Johnsonville Ford?
Adam Martin doing a great job approaching the top 5 as we near the halfway point, Dave.
Single file in that little grouping of cars. Kevin Lacroix continues to lead over the 74 of Kevin Lacroix, and we're nearing the halfway point, so we should be seeing the caution flag come out very shortly.
And when we say halfway point, we mean the break they're going to have in the race. Obviously, lap 154, we're a little bit past, but the field settles down. Trevor Handley, the race director, calls the yellow.
So you're right, the field gets off the gas and they'll settle down, head for pit lane and make any changes they need for their race cars for the second half here in the Bumper to Bumper 300. But so far, 3 leaders, 3 lead changes, and it's been a great race so far.
Still 12 cars on the lead lap.
But pit road is a busy place as expected, and Todd's in the thick of it. Todd?
And service begins with our leader, the 76 car of Kevin Lacroix, asking for a cold drink of water in this hot day. We'll get fuel, fresh Goodyears, and a minor adjustment to adjust a tight condition. Same on the 74, also reporting to be a little bit tight. They will make a change. And the 32 of Alex Labbe, the points leader, a slight air pressure adjustment, and they will be good to go in the second half.
See the crews not really rushing. They'll take their times, make sure they get all those lug nuts tight.
They get 5 minutes to put on the tires, put in the fuel. That is a lot of time for these talented NASCAR crews. We'll watch the second half of the Bumper to Bumper 300 next.
17-year-old Kevin Lacroix from Grimsby, Ontario leads the Bumper to Bumper 300, the 10th race of the NASCAR Pinty Series calendar as we get set to go back under green. The break is done. All the changes have been made.
Look at all those fresh Goodyear stickers on the outside of these tires. You won't be able to read them at the end of the race. They tend to get rubbed off.
Now it's Lacroix bringing him slowly to the restart box, and green flag waves as they head for turn number 1.
Fresh tires, they've got to let them come up to temperature, so these cars are hard to drive.
Look at the 74 up on the outside. Kevin Lacroix powers his way back to the lead.
The Bumper to Bumper 74 out in front of the Bumper to Bumper 300. This is a race he wants to win.
You can see the battle for third, though, between Labbe and Mark Dilley. The yellow car on the inside, the blue car on the outside. They're still side by side.
Again, these tires, now they'll be getting up to temperature. They'll be getting broken into where the drivers can really drive them as hard as they want to. DJ Kennington was fast earlier on, and he's fast on the inside of Donald Chisholm.
Yeah, he was the quickest car in practice, and that's why he was sitting on the pole for today's race. But now Adam Martin gets into the back of the 89 as he continues his march forward.
He got in pretty deep there, but Martin with a good run down the backstretch as DJ Kennington has quickly closed the gap on Labbe.
So as everybody settles in behind the 74 of Kevin Lacroix, do you want to save your stuff at this point, or is it just a sprint race?
You definitely want to save your stuff, Dave, but when they're, contact between J.F. Dumoulin and Adam Martin in the 9. Martin slid all the way through 3 and 4.
The beauty of this bank and the turns, it sort of saves you when you get into an incident like that.
Dave, on this hand, you want to save your equipment. On the other hand, they're bunched up. This is prime time to pick up spots.
Donald Teach in the 22 will head by local track favorite Donald Chisholm in the 89. Now Chisholm finally gets back to the inside and tucks in behind Teach.
Well, that's no safer either, because here comes Ranger, and he loves the outside.
Single file through the top 5. DJ Kennington has caught the back end of the Kappa Can-Am number 32 of Alex Labbe. Labbe looking to the inside of Mark Dilley.
Labbe with a great run off the corner, dips to the bottom of the racetrack. You almost never see the 32-car waiver. Wow, trouble. Donald Teach in the 22 and Donald Chisholm door-to-door between 3 and 4.
And the 25, Simone Vienne in the Castro. Ford also with body damage after this one. Have another look at what happened.
Right at the left side of the screen, Teach underneath J.F. Dumoulin had to get on the brakes a little harder. Wow, and Simone Vienne into the back of Tagliani in the 18.
Some body damage to the 25. Pretty lucky for the 89 of Donald Chisholm as Alex Tagliani heads down pit road. They'll take a look at that one. Kevin Lacroix, Kevin Lacroix, your top 2.
There's a good look at the NASCAR Pinty Series hauler that travels across Canada back and forth, and the man that drives it, Fitzy, Dave Fitzgibbons, the unsung hero of Canada's National Series. Dave Fitzgibbons makes this series go, Dave, day after day.
Speaking of go, the front row has gone, and it's Kevin Lacroix once again leading him into turn number 1. Kevin Lacroix will try and tuck down, didn't get a great restart.
Down through 3 and 4, whatever Kevin Lacroix is doing on these restarts, he's got to do that every time, every track, every place. He has nailed it.
Well, you mentioned the Pinty Series hauler. We have to tip our hat to Stan Morrow of CRS Trucking, whose rig it is. And let's not forget the unofficial mayor of Peterborough, Brian Cathcart, who helps many of these teams with their truck needs. We salute every single one of you, gentlemen.
Brian Cathcart has helped a lot of race car drivers. Adam Martin, we were just on board the Johnsonville number 9. He could have used a little bit of help there. He was getting knocked around something fierce.
See, Andrew Ranger snuck in and took a spot from him as well. And here comes DJ Kennington, the inside of the 76, a battle for second spot.
And Kevin Lacroix driving away. I'm not sure the adjustments Don Thompson Jr. made on that car, but Kevin Lacroix pulling away just like he did in the first half.
Remember the struggles he had at Grand Prix Trois-Rivières, though. He was expected to dominate there. Unfortunately, ran into some troubles, and that put him in a hole as far as the point standings go.
You know, there's a good look at Alex Labbe in the 32. Now we're back to Donald Teach in the 22, the 04 of JF Dumoulin, the Spectra Premium sponsored car. But we're talking about Kevin Lacroix and Alex Labbe. There was no love lost between those two. Don Thompson Jr., the crew chief for Lacroix, knows the best place for him is well out in front where he's not mixing it up. He's got some hard feelings. Whoa, as we make contact in one. That's Donald Chisholm getting into the corner of JF Dumoulin.
And we should mention that dice between the 04 and the 22 was not for position. Donald Teach is down a lap, but have another look at this bump. Oh,
that's the driver not getting the message from the spotter. There's a car to the inside because JF Dumoulin would rather be on the outside than sideways chasing a car up the racetrack. So message not delivered just then.
On board the Race for Autism, number 28 of Armani Williams, currently sitting in 12th position. As you see the Spectra Premium Dodge of Dumoulin just ahead of him.
You know what, Armani Williams, he's had a couple of spins today, but he's looked better this weekend than we've seen him all season long.
You know, another car that is looking better today than we've seen all season, maybe even if you look back to last season too, this one, the 02 of Mark Dilley, sitting in 4th spot.
In the 4th position in that Leland Industries Ford, battling with Alex Labbe. If you're as fast as Lapsevich and Labbe just had his visor flip open, had to reach up quickly and knock it down. But if you're as quick as Lapsevich and Labbe on these racetracks, you're having a good day.
Well, it's a hot one today. You talked about the visor on Alex Labbe. It's a hot one. May have opened it a little bit to get a breath of fresh air and then close it down quickly.
Yeah, it's definitely warm out there and so much warmer inside these race cars. As JF Dumoulin, not sure if he's got a problem, but he is backed up to the 18 of Alex Tagliani.
These two have been all over each other for the last couple of laps. Tagliani now looking for a way by as Dumoulin gets loose on corner exit off of turn number 4.
Yeah, the handling of that car not doing what he would like as there Alex Tagliani gets really loose in the middle of 1 and 2. Here's a look at a driver who I don't think he's had to turn right all day long. Kevin Lacroix, that car handling perfectly. Dominating
in the early going of the second half, but Todd's down pit side with a report on an early front runner who's fallen off the pace. Todd?
Quick update on the local driver, Donald Chisholm, who always runs this event. The team saying he went super loose, super quick. That was the reason they made the pit stop to try to change the handling of that car. Well, that 89 is a handful.
We're not used to seeing the 89 car that out of shape at this racetrack. He's run thousands of laps here.
And he is going to try and make the trek east or west, I should say, for the final race of the season in the NASCAR Pinty Series at the newly redone Jukasa Speedway, the old Cayuga Motorsport Park.
That should be a great event in September, Dave. I'm looking forward to being there, and it would be great to see Donald Chisholm make the trip.
See him struggling, though, right now as he's fighting that car all over this third of a mile oval at Riverside International Speedway. But these two still on top of each other as they make contact again. Dumoulin in the Spectra Premium 04 and the Lowe's EpiPen Dodge of Alex Tagliani are making contact nearly every turn.
You know, it's so early in the race. JF Dumoulin turned that car hard left to defend the line. Oh, my goodness. That was a close call with Armani Williams and Alex Tagliani as Williams gets a piece of the front stretch wall.
Have another look at this from on board the 28 of Williams.
That'll get your attention. You can see Williams driving with his visor up as well.
Tagliani finally sticks it on the inside of the 04 of Dumoulin. The spotters have been busy for those two drivers for the last couple of laps, and look who has been behind them. The 74 of Kevin Lacroix, that's the size of the lead he has.
What a great battle for 5th spot. Andrew Ranger in the Mopar 27, Mark Dilley in the Leland 02, and there's Adam Martin in the Johnsonville number 9. He's been a real opportunist today, and I like that, Dave.
Well, he came into this one leading the Jostens Rookie of the Year point standings, and he's just putting in another solid run. He's been Mr. Consistency so far in 2017.
Wow, Dilley got loose there in turn number 4, had to chase the car up the bank. He 3 wide into turn 1.
Oh, Dilley grabs a handful of wheel and dirt tracks it right up to the wall.
There was a lot of pedaling to go along with that steering. A little bit of brake, a little bit of throttle.
Maybe a little bit of holding your breath.
It's hard to steer a race car with your fingers crossed.
This is a nice spot to run here, P5.
So he'll have to settle it down, get those Goodyear Eagles cooled off once again as he tries to make the march back towards the front.
And you can see Dilley also with the visor up, and he is warm inside that race car. We are under yellow.
Caution flag coming out because of debris, we're being told.
Dan Hawkins waves the yellow flag.
There it is.
Right up in the upper groove, sort of the upper edge of the upper groove, but at these speeds, Dave, you don't want to mess around.
It's enough to cut a tire, so that's the reason we're under caution. We'll be back to Riverside. High above Marshy Hope, Nova Scotia, outside Antigonish, looking down at Riverside Speedway. It's the 10th of 13 races to determine the 2017 NASCAR Pinty Series champion.
Kevin Lacroix and his bumper-to-bumper dodge has dominated this race, and another great restart for the driver from St. Eustache.
Good opportunities to pick up spots all through the field, and you have a battle for second. Labbe up on the outside. DJ Kennington still hanging on to that yellow stripe, and it looks like Kennington will move to second.
And they are pulling away from Caden Lapsevich, and you could tell Labbe had that move planned. As soon as DJ committed to the bottom, shot to the outside. Didn't work, but it was a hell of a plan.
Just in behind those two, the 76 defending series champion Caden Lapsevich, but no one has been able to touch the 74 of Kevin Lacroix so far today.
Now remember, with 43 laps to go, we watch Adam Martin in the Johnsonville 9 battling with Andrew Ranger in the Mopar 27. This is about the point in the first half of the race that Lacroix started to fall back towards the rest of the field. There's no sign of that happening right now.
Another shot from on board the 02 of Mark Dilley. You see Kennington get crossways up in front, just ahead of the 32. That closes the gap between those two cars.
Alex Labbe running third, Caden Lapsevich in fourth. See if he can close in on this lead trio. DJ Kennington about 5 car lengths behind the race leader, Kevin Lacroix.
You see a lot of these cars now are starting to wiggle, especially off the turns. As the drivers get back on the gas, they start to move around, and Labbe went from the outside down to the inside and right around the Castrol Edge Dodge of DJ Kennington.
A change for the second position. Laps are winding down. He's got a long way to go to catch Kevin Lacroix. It's one thing to catch him, it's another thing to pass him.
When he needs help like that, oh, we've got all those problems. How'd they hang on to that? Both Adam Martin and the 27 of Andrew Ranger battling for 5th, and both went sliding in turn 4.
And I cannot believe the restraint Alex Tagliani has shown today. I've seen a few times where he, oh my goodness! Kisses the front end of J.F. Dumoulin, Armani Williams involved. The yellow flag flies. I want another look at this one, Dave.
Well, they're all racing very tightly bunched together. There you see the 18 of Tagliani go around, and the 28 of Armani Williams appears to have some sort of fire on board. He's going to hop out in the infield. We'll take a quick break, get things reset here in Nova Scotia. You're watching the NASCAR Pinty Series and your source for all that is NASCAR in Canada on TSN. 27 to go at the line, and it's been all Kevin Lacroix here at Riverside. Once again, a slow restart, though.
Snail's pace for Lacroix. Gets on the throttle. Alex Labbe saw it coming, able to keep pace with the driver to the passenger door.
Can he stick up on the outside, though? The Can-Am Ford Fusion doing a pretty good job. This is probably the best anybody else has done on a restart with a 74.
It is not easy to keep pace. And Dave, remember, these two are in a feud. They're the top two in the points, and Kevin Lacroix is not happy with the way 32 drove him at 24 just a week ago.
Battle of the crew chiefs, Don Thompson Jr. versus Mario Goslin. Thompson turns the wrenches on the 74. Mario Goslin's been the secret on the 32 all season long.
Unbelievable side-by-side racing here for the lead. We're on board DJ Kennington having a great look at a couple of young guns duking it out on the oval.
But don't count out the veteran DJ Kennington. He has 2 wins here at Riverside, more than any other driver here on this track in the NASCAR Pinty Series.
Spotter Jeff Gutler calling the shots. Crew chief Ted McAllister on top of the pit box. DJ's got all the ingredients to have a good run.
And he's come so close to getting a win here in 2017. Will today be his day? He's got 2 cars in front of him, and they're 2 very good cars.
Wow, look at these guys making contact, sliding around the racetrack.
Nearly 3 wide as Caden Lapsevich got up almost against the wall. A battle for 4th with Dilly and Ranger, and then you look back deeper in the field, Adam Martin in there as well.
4th all the way back to 8th, nose to tail. JF Dumoulin, who got a lap back earlier on as a free pass recipient, making the most of it up in this battle. Whoa, trouble in 1. Lapsevich goes around.
He loops it, gets stopped with a little brush against the wall, but he'll have to get going. No caution yet. We stay green.
No, he kept that car rolling, got up to speed in a hurry. He is a long way behind. Let's ride on board. You can hear the contact there. Adam Martin got into the corner hot. Couple of cars battling for position underneath him, and Lapsevich is a long way behind.
He's getting pushed around a little bit before that had happened. As you take a look at that battle there between the Lowe's Dodge, the 18 of Alex Tagliani, and the number 9. Both cars looked a little bit used up, but Adam Martin looks probably the better of the 2.
We're into the last 10 laps of the race. If you're going to use your car up, use it up now, Dave.
Look at the front of the field. We have a battle for the lead. You have Labbe right on the back bumper of your race leader, Kevin Lacroix, on the bumper-to-bumper Dodge.
Did you notice the back end of Lacroix's car through that corner? He wasn't loose, but it just looked a little bit light, like the back end was looking to come around, but he's still holding the bottom of the racetrack.
They're great battles all through the pack. That was a dice for 5th between Ranger, Dumoulin, and Tagliani.
Alex Labbe all the way against the outside wall, drives it down to the yellow line, and absolutely that 74 getting a little bit loose in the turns.
What's going to get here? 5 more, Big Daddy.
Labbe digging on your race leader. But look at Kevin Lacroix poised and relaxed at the front of the field. 5 laps to go that time by the stripe.
And he nailed the corner that time, right around the bottom, able to get on the throttle. Great battle between Andrew Ranger and the 27, the 04 JF Dumoulin, and the 18 of Alex Tagliani. They're racing for 5th, and I mentioned it earlier, Dave. Tagliani has shown a lot of restraint today.
He might be losing that restraint. Got into the back of the 04. These 2 will be seeing each other in their dreams.
He saved the 04. JF was so loose that if Tag had stayed on the throttle, that would have been a destroyed race car.
Battle for 6th spot. We're watching on your screen right now. Tagliani has it. 2 laps to go that time by for your race leader, the bumper-to-bumper 74 of Kevin Lacroix.
Simone Dion in the 25 could become a factor. Lacroix right in the middle of the corner, not where he wanted to catch a slower car.
The 25 trying to pull it down below the yellow line as the white flag waves. 1 more lap to go here at Riverside Speedway, and Lacroix got loose.
Very loose out of turn number 2. Here goes Labbe to the inside. Oh, Lacroix up the racetrack. Contact.
They touched, and Labbe's going to take the win. Lacroix will have to settle for 2nd. DJ Kennington coming home in 3rd.
Alex Labbe led 1 lap this afternoon, and it was lap number 300. Oh, my goodness.
Lacroix is not happy with your race winner. Some fireworks after the checkered flag here in Riverside.
That's the cool-down lap down the back straightaway. The front of Lacroix's car damaged. Look at this, Dave. Right into the driver's door of Labbe.
It looked like the 74 just wanted to turn him as a, I'm not happy with you, but have a look.
Wow, and Labbe had no idea that was coming. You can look in his eyes. Now he's looking in the mirror, and Labbe climbs out of his race car to salute the crowd.
A couple of drivers from Quebec are going to have some words here on the front straightaway. We'll be back in victory lane to get things sorted for you, but the 32 is your race winner. Welcome back to Riverside Speedway. Things are a little bit calmer now. Todd is with the winner of the Bumper to Bumper 300. Todd?
Alex Labbe stalked his prey right until the end, then a late move at the end. Tell me about that pass to get you this victory.
I was patient, and we had a really good car there at the end. I didn't think it would came in that good at the end. I'm pretty happy with all my work my team did. We had a really fast car there at the end, and 74 was driving hard, and I see he was doing mistakes. He got loose going out of 2. I knew I had a good run down the back stretch. Just give him a little bump. Nothing to spin him out. Just a little bump and run. Just short track racing. At the right time, I could have bumped him 20 times before. I just waited when it matters, last lap, last corner, and get the win. So that's a really good win for us today.
It's win number 4 in the season for Alex Labbe.
And more importantly for Alex Labbe, it propels him a little bit further ahead in the points as we take a look at the top 10 here in the final standings.
Andrew Ranger was nowhere most of the day. A good top 5 for the Mopar 27. Donald Cheech got to be disappointed in 10th spot in that 22.
Well, we'll take a look at the point standings as they sit now. You remember the margin was 23 coming into this event. It's now 26 in favor of Alex Labbe. Todd standing by with the man who's second in points.
Kevin, you led so many laps, it looked like it was going to be a victory. Take us through from your vantage point what occurred in the last lap.
Well, he just did like in Mirabel, like in 12 year. Looks like have a way big advantage on him on road courses, and the only way to win for him is sending me in the wall. And now that I'm getting fast on oval 2, the only way to win again is waiting the last corner and pushing me off. So looks like when it happens to him, he's the first one to cry like a baby. But when it's his turn, and he's like a champion. So that's it.
Harsh words from Kevin Lacroix, but you could hear the restraint in his voice as well, Dave.
Well, there's Alex Labbe lifting the trophy high. He takes home the hardware here in the Bumper to Bumper 300. Today's race has been brought to you by E3 Spark Plugs, Born to Burn, and by Honey Goo from Clean Flow, one honey of a lube.
What a show we had down in Nova Scotia. It was worth the long drive to the Maritimes.
Our next race will be the Total Quartz 200 from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Back on the road course, and with this top of mind, it's going to be exciting.
And what's exciting to me, Dave, is all 3 races remaining favor Kevin Lacroix and Alex Labbe and Caden Lapsevich are top 3 in the points.
For all of the TSN crew, we'll see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.